Hello, hello, beautiful, and welcome to day 5 of the Emergency Medical Folder Challenge. During this challenge, remember, we are setting up our emergency medical folder for free, and it's a 7-day challenge running July 25th through 31st, 2022. If you've not already registered, it's not too late. Go ahead in the link in the video description. Click on the link and register now so you can get all the worksheets and do your emergency medical folder challenge with us. Well, I am so glad that you're here with me today. I am Suzanna Kaye, professional organizer. And as you hop on, let me know in the comments who you are, where you're joining me from. I always love to see who's here. I see lovely Marie is already here. That's fantastic. Great to see you again, lovely Marie. She says, blessings from Alaska. How are all you beautiful ladies doing on this very blessed Friday? I know I am doing pretty well. Hopefully you're doing well too, lovely Marie. All right, so day 5, we are talking about how to store your emergency medical folder, where to keep it so it can be as useful as possible, but still safe, right? Hey, Sherry, great to see you. She says, good morning, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful to you too. So where to store our emergency medical folder, that's our goal today. That's the main thing that we're going to be talking about. And then we will finish up with backing it up and how to do this with all of the rest of your important papers, right? How to take these same concepts and do that with the rest of your papers. So share this video and this entire challenge, all right? The more you share it, the better it is because the more people can be prepared by having an emergency medical folder set up. You can share the video, you can share the full challenge, and let me know in the comments when you share. I always love to thank you for sharing. And if you've already registered for the challenge or if you're interested and you've missed some things, then hop into the challenge schedule page. So the challenge schedule page is the one page with all the different links and the schedule and all the information about the challenge. So if you missed anything at all, this is the page for you. The link is also in the video description for you. All right, well, before we hop right into where to store it, I want to say hi to Kay. Hi, Kay. Good to see you. And Judy. And Cheryl is here. And so is Ta. Good morning. And Brana. Good morning, Brana. Great to have you all here. Well, this morning, like I mentioned, the emergency medical folder, there are 2 parts to this normally. The emergency medical folder is actually one part of the full Spark Life Binder. And the Spark Life Binder is basically, it's just a tool to help you organize all the rest of your important information and papers. So it's filled with all the same types of worksheets, but for the rest of your information. So the Spark Life Binder is where you would store the more sensitive information, you know, the copies of the credit cards and IDs, your social security number, your financial account information, passwords. Those types of things would be stored in the Spark Life Binder. So this is what you would need to keep super safe. But the emergency medical folder is different because we want this to be something that first responders can find in case something were to happen and we could not communicate, or we can quickly grab it and go if we have to go to the hospital or if we have to evacuate, or even just to go to the doctor's office. We want this to be very accessible, right? So the emergency medical folder does not have the same sensitive information that you would put into an important papers binder, like your Spark Life Binder. And that's the reason why, because we want to store this where it can be found, right? So if you already have yours stored somewhere, let me know in the comments where you keep your emergency medical folder. For me, I like to make sure to keep mine in the kitchen. And I usually keep it in the kitchen near an appliance that would be easy to explain to first responders where it's at, right? I want it to be bright colored and something easy for them to find, because if I can't communicate, then I want to know that they can find this with all the important information in it. So a lot of times I'll keep it next to a refrigerator, microwave, toaster, something easily identifiable. Now, in the description of the video, I've got a free download for you for today. Since you are joining me on the video, I wanted to thank you for joining me on the video. So there's a free printout. When you download this, it's just a PDF. You can't type into it. You'll just have to handwrite, but it's a printout that you can print and put onto your refrigerator, usually in the freezer area of your refrigerator or the very top of your refrigerator sometimes. Print this out, cut it out, and it says emergency medical information. And then underneath it says emergency medical information is located. And that's where you're going to write instructions on where to find your emergency medical folder. Now, the reason why we want to put something like this on the refrigerator in the area that the freezer would be, or the top, sometimes the freezer's at the bottom, you can put it at the top if your freezer's at the bottom. But the reason why we put this in that area, first responders in general are trained to look in or around the freezer for important information. I don't know if it's still something that's done as often today, but it used to be, and I've not heard otherwise, it used to be the case that they would look in the freezer itself, inside the freezer. They used to have these, they kind of like those bank tubes that were the clear tubes with the caps on the ends, and they'd have these bright orange caps, and you'd put important medical information in there and put it in your freezer, and then first responders knew where to find it. I don't know why they decided the freezer, maybe because every house has one. I'm not sure, but that's where they're trained to look. So to this day, most of the time, first responders are going to look near the freezer and refrigerator to see if there's a sign or any kind of information about where to find emergency medical information. So having a sign like this, you can make your own, or you can grab that free download from the link in the video description. It'll be there until the end of, I guess, next week, August 7th. All the challenge content will be available until August 7th, so this link as well. But if you download this, put this on your refrigerator in the top area near the freezer area, then first responders will know where to look to find this, right? And I told the story before about the woman who she was able to communicate, but she was helping her husband. The first responders came in. There were several of them. I think she said maybe 5. It was Rosemary. And, she was so focused on making sure that her husband was being taken care of. One of the paramedics automatically went into the kitchen to look for information, for all that emergency information, and found, because she had the sign on her fridge, not this sign, but she made her own back in the day, about where to find that information. And by the time she came out with the other paramedics, that one had already gotten all the information that they needed about her husband. So even if you are there to communicate, you don't have to remember what to tell them. They automatically know where to look. So I like to keep mine in the kitchen near an appliance. You can also keep a copy in your car if you would like. So whether you want to do the full copy in your car or do just a copy of the pages and put those in the glove compartment, you could put the whole thing, if you have a large glove compartment, you could put the whole thing in there. Or sometimes those seat back pockets or the trunk are some good areas that they will look to find information. So, and you could always put the sign, you could put this in your glove compartment, because that's usually where they go first, your wallet and your glove compartment. So you could put this in the glove compartment saying where your full folder is as well, in case of a car accident. But the main thing is this needs to be quick to grab. So putting this in a home safe or in a back office is not going to be as helpful. It should be something where you can grab it and go, and where paramedics can grab it and go. Your family all know where it's at. All right, so tell me in the comments, have you completed your emergency medical folder yet, or are you working on it this weekend still? I would love to find out how many of you have got it completed, at least put together, maybe not completely filled out, but put together. So let me know. And really quickly in the comments, I wanted to say, we got Karen. Hi, Karen. She's here. And Pam, welcome. Judy says, I tried to send the video by sharing it, but my friend couldn't open it. She was having problems with her computer. I sent her all the replays. Perfect. Yes, if you send her all the replays, that's great. You could even send the challenge schedule page and they can grab the replays off of that. That's fine too. Thank you for sharing, Judy. That's so wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And Karen says, I love my Spark Life binder. Thank you, Susanna. Oh, you're so welcome, Karen. You're so welcome. I hope it's a big relief for you, just knowing that you and your family have everything that you need. Hey, Renee, good afternoon. Oh, Judy says, thank you for putting the link for the Important Papers workshop below the video. Yes, you're welcome. If you've not registered for that workshop yet, she's referring to the Important Papers workshop is a free workshop. I'm doing 3 times next week, and then that's it for the year. But it's how to build your own important papers binder. So whether you want to grab the Spark Life binder or build your own from scratch, it will tell you how to build your own. And you'll get a chance if you wanted to grab the Spark Life binder and skip all the work. But join the register for the Important Papers Workshop if you hadn't already. Lynn says, here I am. Hi, Lynn. And Cheryl says, mobile help wants info on the refrigerator. The note on the refrigerator says that the emergency medical folder is on the bookshelf by the TV. Perfect. A TV is something easily identifiable. That's very easy for them to figure out where that is. Good one. Peg says, I keep mine next to my desk so I can grab it to make quick updates. I have a sign on the fridge telling first responders to look for neon orange emergency medical folder on the shelf next to my desk. Fantastic. Love it. And DP says, stainless steel fridge. Do you know if they would look next to the fridge for a sign? On the side of the fridge, they will also look on the side. Yes. I also have a stainless steel fridge. So mine is kind of half taped, half magneted to the fridge. But on the side of the fridge is better with my magnets. So you could do the front of the fridge is optimal. Side of the fridge is kind of like the next best thing, as long as it's not obscured by a bunch of cabinets and things. Lynn says, this is great info. Thanks. You're so welcome, Lynn. Brana says, if you're using a Mac, you can use the preview app to add text to a PDF file. Oh, see, I didn't even know that. That's awesome. So great. If you have a Mac, I guess, if you open this in the preview program, Brana says that you can add text to it and type in your text. Thank you, Brana. Love it. Cheryl says she's completed hers. Jen says she started, but she's looking to the weekend to finish it up. Love that. It's a process, not a project, right? Oh, just like Sherry says, in process. Process, not a project. Not a problem. One small step at a time. You're doing good. DP says, I've got the supplies and made the first run through. Looking for the harder info on Sunday. Great plan. Judy says, when my mom fell and the paramedics came, I had to tell them all the medications that my mom was using. My mom, meanwhile, was quite upset and needed me to be there to comfort her. It was very stressful. Yes, that is stressful. Sometimes you just need to be there for the person in need, right? You need to be there for that person and comforting them and trying to gather information about prescriptions and medical information. That's not the time. So yes, absolutely, having something like this makes it so much easier. Not to mention, if I was asked what prescriptions my husband was on, I don't think I would know what he's currently on because it changes quite often. And even looking in the medicine cabinet, he's not the best at taking out the ones that he's not using anymore. And he keeps some beside his bed, and it would be hard. So without this, I would have a very hard time quickly getting that information. So yeah, absolutely. Love that. Brana says hers is in progress. Awesome. Oh, yay. Somebody says from Facebook, finally made it to a live video. The printer quit, so I'll be printing it today. Fantastic. I'm so glad. I'm glad that you're here, and it's nice to have you live. All right, so we talked about where to store it, right? We want to store it somewhere that it's easy for the first responders to grab. It's easy for us to quickly grab. You can have a copy in your car if you want to as well. How do you keep your information safe, right? So just as a reminder, with your emergency medical folder, you do not want to include your highly sensitive information. So don't enter your social security number, your date of birth, financial cards, anything like that in here. The best way to make sure that they have access to that information without writing it is to have a contact number for somebody who can release that information to them. So a trusted friend, a family member, somebody who you trust to have that information of yours, where if the paramedics or hospital were to call them, they could verify that it was a valid hospital or paramedic call, and they could give them the social security number, the date of birth, because we want this to be something that we can quickly grab and go. So we need this to be somewhere more of a public area. Now, all of the actual sensitive information that you want to keep, just a reminder, would go in your important papers binder. Whether you're building your own or you use the Spark Life binder, that's where the important sensitive information goes, because this is what covers the entire rest of your life, right? So I'll use the Spark Life binder as an example, but in the important papers workshop, like I mentioned, I will teach you how to build your own important papers binder. So if you don't have the Spark Life binder, if it's just not something that's for you right now, that is fine. The Important Papers Workshop, I'll show you how to build your own of these. But within your Spark Life binder or your important papers binder, this is where the sensitive information would be. So you would keep things like basic information, dependents, medical, like all of the past medical information and the stuff that you would not need to bring to the hospital. End of life arrangements, finance and insurance, including photocopy the front and backs of your credit cards and your bank cards, and put them with your finance and insurance section. So that way you always have that copy. Real estate and personal property, including a home inventory. So grab your phone, do a walkthrough of your house using the video camera, and show all of the valuables that are in your home, including serial numbers, identifiable marking. And then that way you can save that video in case you have an insurance claim or a police report to fill out. Legal and official records, digital life, this would be your passwords and that information, and resources and notes. So if you're making an important papers binder, then this has different storage needs, right? Because this has all that really sensitive information. Now, in the important papers workshop, I have a whole section of the workshop talking about how to keep it safe. But really quickly, some of the places that you could store highly sensitive information, you could store it in, of course, a home safe or a safe deposit box, somewhere that's actually locked up. You could store it hidden somewhere. You could store it like behind a bookshelf where nobody would look, or in a drawer. I'd say don't store this in like your sock and underwear drawer. Thieves know to look in that drawer. Store it in like the craft drawer or one of the kitchen cabinet drawers where a thief would not even look because they would not expect to find something important. And another thing that you can do, you can store it in plain sight. So if you have a binder like this, if instead of having this, like this one's labeled a Spark Life binder, along the spine, instead of that, you could label it something completely different, like knitting patterns or favorite recipes or, exercise research, whatever you wanted to, something that sounds very boring, and keep it on a shelf near other binders and books that are not super interesting, that look like hobby books. And the Spark Life binder actually comes with an extra page. If you wanted to create your own binding, then you could make a fake binding. It comes with that. So that way you can hide it in plain sight if you wanted to, and nobody would know that it's actually your important information unless you've told them. So you could tell your family and friends, the knitting patterns binder, that's where you actually find all the important information. And that way you have it nice and easy to grab and go. You can also store it digitally. The Spark Life binder comes either digital or printed and mailed to you, or both. And that digital copy, you can store it digitally. Just make sure, again, not in the cloud or something like that. So that's the difference. The Spark Life binder is super sensitive information. Emergency medical folder, you want to keep your information safe by not keeping that very sensitive information in here. It should be in your important papers binder. All right, really quickly in the comments, let's see. Ta says for her emergency medical folder, put it together but not yet filled it out. That's great. One small step at a time. Pam's working on it. Jen says, I'm planning to make one for each of my sons as they go off to college, so they don't have to keep asking me for info. LOL. Yes, that's a great idea. What a great thing for a college student to have. So it's all in one place. I know I didn't have that in college. I was quite clueless. Judy says, remember all the meds that she was using. I was able to do it, but it would have been a lot easier if I could have handed the folder to them. Then I could have focused on comforting her. Yes, right. That's what we want to be doing at the time. Jen says the date of birth is often on people's social media. Oops. Yes. And that's one of those things. It's all up to you with your comfort level as far as that goes. But on social media, a lot of times it's best to put a birth date that's near your birth date if you wanted to get all the happy birthdays near your birthday, or to use a completely different birthday. Just that way your social media does not have the actual legal date of birth. So it's a good idea not to share your date of birth, just because it is used in so many different applications and so many ways to prove your identity. That's a good point, Jen. Yes. So somebody on Facebook says, what if you're a veteran and have to use the last four of your social security number as an ID? Can you include just the last four? That's up to you and your comfort level. So one option is to write the last four of your social in the folder. Another option is to have, like I said, have an emergency contact person where they could contact them to get that ID number. Because a lot of times the insurance information and all of those different ID numbers, they don't need those in order to start treating you. They need those in order to bill you, but they don't need those to provide you the medical service. So that's not as urgent for them to have immediately. They can jump through a hoop of actually having to call somebody to get that information if they need to, as long as you have the important medical information, the allergies, the prescriptions you're on, any conditions you have. That's the stuff that they need to have immediately. So completely up to you, but for me, I prefer not to have that information in my folder, and I just have the contact person, because they will, if they want to bill me, then they will go and call that person or wait until I've recovered and ask me. They're not going to forget to ask that one. And it does not affect my actual medical care as much as, they will still do all the urgent care. Pat Flood said that she is working on hers. Awesome. And Renee is working on her folder for her family. Yay. Fantastic. I love that. You guys are all rocking this one step at a time, right? And this weekend, you'll have more time to do it. Remember, this weekend, if you wanted to work on it with the group, we have the free public group hike. I only do this, I open it up only a couple times a year to the public, but the group hikes are a member benefit usually only. And our members get to join us multiple times a month. We do these 2-hour work sessions where we hop on Zoom, live on camera together. We work side by side. We have some fun music. I'm there to answer questions. A lot of it is just the music so that we can actually focus and get some stuff done. And then I share tips and tricks and answer questions in between little work sprints. So if you're interested, this one's for free and it's open to the public, but you do have to register. So check out the link either on the challenge schedule page or in the video description. And that is happening tomorrow, Saturday. So hopefully you can join me for the group hike. And that's a great time to finish the rest of your emergency medical folder, because I'll be there to answer any questions too. All right. So in the comments, yay, Peg says she just printed the fridge sign. She says she quote unquote laminated it, covering it with clear packing tape, making it a bit more sturdy. That's really smart, especially in a kitchen where things splatter and everything, right? So I love your laminating with the clear packing tape. I've done that too. Wonderful. All right, I had a question earlier that I just wanted to share. Somebody had asked about what's the difference between the Spark Life Binder and the Paper Path course, because you hear about both of those from me probably every once in a while. And you already know, I told you that the Spark Life Binder, this is a tool, basically. It's just a product. It's not a course. It does have an online library where I help you with any questions you might have and help you work through it. But the Spark Life Binder is primarily just a tool, and it's to organize your most important information and paper in one place. So that's what the Spark Life Binder is. It's a product to make it so much easier for you. If you've ever wanted to build an important papers binder and get those papers organized and you just have not gotten around to it, it makes it so much easier because it's got all the worksheets in it. So just like your emergency medical folder worksheets, each section in here is just filled with worksheets. So you just go through and fill in the blanks. And it's super, super, super in-depth. Now the Paper Path course, that is an actual course where there are lessons and it takes you step by step through organizing all of your papers. So Spark Life Binder handles all the important papers and information. Paper Path course includes how to set up an important papers binder, like the Spark Life Binder. That is one section of the Paper Path course. But it also handles how to handle all of your incoming papers, how to set up your file cabinet, how to get through all of the piles of papers that you have laying around, and how to make the decisions on your papers. So it is a course that walks you step by step through organizing all of your papers into an overall system. One part of that system, and the important part of that system, I would say, is the Spark Life Binder. So that is the Paper Path course. The other thing that people ask about is, what about the membership? Where does the membership fit in with that? So the Path membership, let me know in the comments if you are a Path member. I know we have at least 2 Path members here that I saw in the comments. Let me know if you're a Path member. And explain to people in the comments, if you can, what the membership does for you. Like how would you explain the membership? But this is how I would explain it. The membership, the PATH membership, is basically here to support you through whatever your organizing goals are. If you are trying to complete your Spark Life Binder, if you're working through the Paper Path course, if you're doing your own home organization projects, and you just need that extra motivation, the extra resources and help, that's the membership. So the course is like the textbook in school, it's the how-to. The membership is all that support. It's like the class work time and the lab work time where you actually get the things done. So you have tools to help you with that. We have group hikes multiple times a month. We have each month, there's a monthly challenge guide. So it's a fun challenge that you can do to help organize your papers. We have a Facebook group. We have the papers database. So it tells you exactly how to handle specific types of papers. There's discounted events. There's bonus content. You have extra Thursday talks that nobody else gets, all of that. So the PATH membership is a really fun way to support you with whatever organizing projects you're working on and have that community by you and the resources available to help you. So hopefully that clears that up. And you can join the PATH membership anytime. Right now, it's only $25 a month, and you can always come and go anytime you want to. You can cancel it anytime. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Okay, Sherry says, I'm on the path. Yes, Sherry is one of our Pathfinders. And Eloise, she's one of our Pathfinders. Joanna, she says, I'm a Path member. Yes, you are. Jean, she says, I'm a Path member. Love the challenges. Yay, I'm glad to hear that one. Awesome. Jean is definitely one of our Pathfinders. We have several of them here. I love it. Love seeing your faces. Peg says, leave the year of your birth date off of Facebook if you still want to get the birthday greetings on the day of. Yes, good one. Yes, always leave the year off. Lynn says, sorry, I'm late. I'm a Pathfinder. Yes, Lynn, it's okay. Not a problem. I'm glad that you're here and you're a wonderful Pathfinder. Lynn says she's a Paper Path member. It's so nice to have friends live to work next to. Yeah, we have a lot of fun in those group hikes, don't we? And I get so much more done because I stay focused with other people near me and having it on my calendar. So wonderful. I love all my Pathfinders. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Awesome. Well, if you have any other questions, let me know. Let's do a quick recap. We talked about where to store your emergency medical folder. This one, I like to store it personally in the kitchen near an appliance or something like that. So it's easy for first responders to find, and it's easy for us to grab and go because we come and go through the kitchen, the door at the kitchen. So where to store it? Store it somewhere that is quick to grab and that others can also find it. And in the video description, if you've not already grabbed it, there's the free download for your fridge sign, where to find your emergency medical folder. So you can download that for free, put that on your refrigerator. And then we talked about how to keep your information safe. Remember, we're not including super sensitive information in our emergency medical folder. That information belongs somewhere that's more secure, like your important papers binder. So sensitive information, not in the emergency medical folder, but have a contact information person who's somewhere that they can contact to get that information if they need it. And then we talked about the difference between the Spark Life Binder, the Paper Path course, and our Path membership, which is here to support you in whatever your goals are. And I will tell you, we've got some things coming up. Really quickly, I wanted to see in the comments. Oh, Peg says, I'm a Path member. It's amazing how much I can get done on a group hike. It's so true. Yes. And Peg is at most of our group hikes also. I love seeing your face and working side by side with you. It's wonderful because our members, especially with the group hikes, we really start to feel like we are friends and we see each other all the time. And we feel like we get to know each other so much more because we work side by side with each other and see each other on a regular basis. I love that. So some of my really good friends. All right, so coming up, we have, like I mentioned, the group hike, free public group hike. Check it out. You know, usually the public one is a lot busier than our more calm member ones, but it's a great chance for you to get some work done. And I'll be right there to answer any questions and share some tips. That happens tomorrow between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern time. You can arrive late. You can leave early if you need to, but make sure to register for that group hike. The link to register is on your challenge schedule page, or you can find it in the video description. And then if you are interested in organizing all the rest of your information with those worksheets, like as easy as the emergency medical folder, the Spark Life Binder is available right now. It's only available until August 7th, and then it goes away again until next year. And that's because I like to make sure to support people as much as they need support once they get it. So I like to make sure to be available. So I only offer it twice a year, so I can be here to answer any questions if you feel stuck or have questions. But the Spark Life Binder is available right now through August 7th. So grab that. You can go to SuzannaKaye.com and click on the store link and grab it there. We also have the Important Papers Workshop. There are 3 sessions. So if you want to build your own Important Papers binder from scratch, you don't have to buy the Spark Life Binder. I will teach you how to build your own one step at a time. So the Important Papers Workshop does that. I also talk about where to store it, how to use it the best, all of that information. So August 2nd, 4th, and 6th are the days of that workshop. And like I mentioned, it is free. If you can't make it live, that's okay. There's a limited time replay afterwards, but if you do attend live, I will give you the How Long to Keep Important Documents guide. So it's a good one to attend live if you can. Register for that in the video description link or on that challenge schedule page as well. And just as a reminder, the challenge schedule page, that is the one place that has all the links that I've mentioned. It also has anything that you may have possibly missed during the challenge. It's got our replays, our daily tasks, our downloads, all of that good stuff. The only thing not on there is your free gift for joining the video today of your freezer sign. So that's just because you guys are special and you were here today with me. But the challenge schedule page, save that link, go to it often. It'll be available until August 7th. But that is your one-stop shop for all of the challenge schedule and all the links. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's see, Peg says, what is the last day someone can register for the Emergency Medical Folder Challenge? And if they register, how long are the replays available? So the last day that they can register would be August 7th, and that's the last day that any of the content is available. So if they register now through August 7th, they will get a link to that challenge schedule page that has all of the information right there, and they will get any remaining daily emails and all of that. So August 7th is the last day to register, and it is the last day to access the challenge schedule page and any of the content from the challenge. Good question. Love it. All right, well, make today absolutely amazing. I will see you tomorrow during the group hike. It's going to be so much fun. I'm excited about it. And then on Sunday, there's no live video. It's going to be pre-recorded. So check out Sunday's video as well, and I will see you very soon. Eloise says, thank you so much for everything. We love and appreciate you. Oh, I love you and appreciate you too, Eloise. You're fantastic. You're welcome, Sherry. And somebody on Facebook says, how do we download the sign? Check out in the video description for this video, where you see all the text about the video, there's a link. And that link will help you download the sign. If you have any problems at all, you can always email me at hello@SuzannaKaye.com. All right, I love you. Make today amazing. Bye-bye now.